Illustrations by Pete.
Hello everyone, welcome to another video, and today we're going to go through the flip through of this book. It's taken me a little while to finish, but not as long as most other sketchbooks, so that's great. Let's see, I started this in January of 2020 and finished October of 21, so that's not too bad. For me, that's pretty amazing. And I started out with a monochromatic drawing right here, just did a little line wash right here in the beginning. Then I did this, doodled it. First I did this section here and just did a bunch of stuff, and I said, well, hey, I wonder if a machine could produce all this junk. And then I put it on kind of like a floor, like a bed of a ocean or something. There's a lot of sea creatures in here. There's faces everywhere. There's little bugs, and I think there's like some kind of little fish looking thing here, and that's just what it is. But you put the junk in here and the color in here, and out comes this stuff. Then I did a little, I guess this was supposed to be, originally it was going to be like some kind of planetary thing, but turned into some kind of spaceship with a city on it, and just kind of wraps around, and then I guess that's what it is. That's what it looks like to me. I don't know what this is. It's not supposed to be anything. So it's just a typical drawing for me, and just doodled a bunch of stuff. And then at the end, when I saw these things coming up, I said, well, it looks like it should go up someone's nose, because I thought this looked like a mouth here with teeth. And I said, well, they're biting on something. Maybe that's going up their nose. I don't know. So that's what I did. Watercolor markers, just having some fun on these pages here. And then I used the Pit Artist pens in the background here. And then this says, there once was a reluctant friend. He had forgotten how to pretend, until he opened his drawing book and discovered a world that he penned. I'm not a poet, as you can tell. I just like to write little things in there. It's just fun. Then I thought, I doodled this whole thing, and then just the last little section right here, I said, well, this kind of looks like maybe a forest that's overgrown, and then you're looking out through it, and there's maybe mountains here. I don't know. I don't know what this is, but it was fun to draw. There's a woodpecker. Kind of a neurographic drawing here. Just did it a little bit different and did a little bit weird and made sections in it. I like this one better than the next one that's coming up. This one says, something old that is not new, stuck in the attic just to brew, but when it's found it brings a smile. It's new again just for a while. That, I guess, is well, this looked like a basket of junk that you'd find in your closet, and right there it looks almost like a rabbit with the little ears coming out, like a little stuffed animal rabbit. I don't know. I don't know why there's an eyeball there either. I don't know why you would have an eyeball in your attic. You're weird. This was a landscape that completely got messed up, so I turned the clouds into spaceships and the trees into people and characters walking around. That's it. This is the other neurological one. It's a lot smaller, a lot more detail, but I like the other one better. I think it's just a little bit nicer. Here's a drawing I started and I never finished. And I was going to. It kept bugging me every time I opened this book, and it was never done. So I just wrote a little poem over here, and it says, what was once started is now done. What is now done was once begun. So if you stop along the way, if you pause just for the day, you may look back and wonder why. You just gave up, so do not lie. So that's this little thing here. And I used the Diamine Smoke on the Water ink, which is really cool. I don't know if you can see the color shift in it, but it's a greenish, almost like an aqua color, that turns red the more the concentration is of the ink. And that's these spots here is the red because it's very concentrated, but down here you can see some of the green and it goes into red. It's a very cool ink. I love Diamine inks. They're beautiful. This was a nature inspired drawing. It was supposed to be a log with some things growing on it, and I turned it into what looks like some weird animal that has this long hair with mushrooms growing, I guess. I don't know. This is the automatic painting and drawing #1 video on the channel. This probably has more views than most of my other ones put together. It was popular. People like it. There's the abstract doodle and painting that I did in the same video. One of my favorite drawings in the whole book. I love this thing. I think it's nice, the weird stuff, and it has influenced a lot of other drawings. It was just a doodle. Again, one of my favorite ones right here, the black and white. I like this one too. I like this little mushroom thing that comes off the side. I like this section of it right here, and this here. It represents the dawning of a new age. No, it does not. It doesn't represent anything. I just put stuff on a page. Stop being weird. So here's another automatic drawing that I did into a doodle. I wanted to see if maybe doing this would give me some more creativity over here, but I think this was less creative than this one, if I was being honest. And I did not do an automatic drawing before doing this. This was from a how to doodle video. This was cool. It did some masking fluid down, put a lot of watercolor over it, and then just drew in some textures. But you can still feel that tore the hell out of this page. This was a very old masking fluid. I think some of it had begun to cure inside the bottle. It was a Winsor Newton, and when I put it down, it just adhered to the paper instead of just sticking to the surface. It became one with the paper. I still feel it, and it has yellowed the page, which is not good, but it was still a fun drawing. I like it. This one was for a book that I'm doing, a little short story, and I love the colors on it though. Just beautiful colors. And this is just with inks and things like that. I think the Peach Martin Bombay India inks, and just beautiful colors, and some watercolor. There's watercolor in there as well. Just beautiful colors. This was one that I did an automatic drawing and then turned it into a doodle. And I had fun with this one. It was a lot hard. Well, I wouldn't say hard. It was a lot more interesting than I thought it would be, than it turned out. But I did put a lot of black space in there that covered some of the lines, and some of the lines you can actually see through the drawing where I did not utilize those lines. I used some and I didn't use others. I'm going to do another one of these probably. I like this. It was fun. This is just some more automatic drawing. This is a 10-second automatic drawing, and then I did a 1 minute and then a 10-minute. This is the only one. See, this is something that I would do. Actually, both of these. This and this is something that I would turn into a drawing, and I would have fun with that. This here was just I think the only section here that I really enjoy is it looks like there's 2 eyes and a mouth here, kind of like a weird little face here with some hair blowing back. But I also see some landscape stuff in here, so it was interesting to get some ideas from. I think it's the only real way that I've ever gained any inspiration from automatic drawing is just figuring this kind of stuff out. This is the Derwent water-soluble graphite, and there's different values of that graphite. There's an HB and a 4B and an 8B, and I use them all on here. And then of course you use a little bit of water. It dissolves it. It makes it very nice. You can erase this a little bit. It's nice. It's very nice. And then I went back in with the pen and got some very, very fine detail in here. This was, I think in this video I was talking about space poop, but that's for a different day. This is a technique that I did in a video where you put down black watercolor ground and then you put on this side, I put down some watercolor, just covered the whole black area with watercolor, and then used white gouache to bring out some of the color, and some other color gouache, but mostly white gouache to bring out the color. This was just black watercolor ground with white gouache, and you see how it kind of fades out, and it adds texture and layers. It looks three-dimensional. I love that about this piece. Here's a two-page spread that I did. I did this one. I loved this right here. That's my favorite section of the whole drawing, right on the edge here. See if I can center that a little bit and maybe zoom in a little bit so you can see it. I love this spot right here. Is my favorite spot of the whole drawing. And then I went back and wanted to just continue, so I did up to there and then just continued with the lines across and added this section. This section is pretty cool down here. The rest of it is just kind of whatever to me. I mean, it looks cool, but nothing special. This I was just testing out some colors, and I thought that it looked like a bunch of stuff. I was going to put some pen in here. I didn't. This kind of looks like a mask with a big nose coming off of it. I don't know. I thought it was pretty cool. This is, again, a part of a story that I'm writing, and so this is a piece of that, and I just did same thing, some masking fluid down, covered it in, I think I did masking fluid. Don't quote me on that. I think I did. I think I did masking fluid down, and then I covered the whole thing with watercolor, and then came back in with pen, put a bunch of texture in here, put some extra stuff in. It was fun. I like this one. So this was about inspiration you take from other pieces. So this section here, I actually took from this section here. And then some of this stuff here, I put down here. And then this over here is this right here. I just took that and made a bigger one. It's not as nice. It's not as good. But I did this as a drawing. This is, again, part of a story. This was an automatic drawing? No, a blindfold drawing. So I did a blindfold drawing, put some lines in, and then I took the blindfold off and made a drawing from it. I really like some of the textures that are in here, especially up in here and down in here. I like the texture. I think it looks pretty cool. And I don't know, I just put an arm in there, like holding this, like it's some kind of bouquet or something. I don't know. This was fun. Just lay down. So I did, again, masking fluid all over the lighter spots, and then put in a bunch of watercolor, came back, took off the masking fluid, and filled it in with some more watercolor, and then drew it in, put some pen and texture in here. I love doing these. This was two pens against each other. No, it wasn't really. It was just demonstrating two different pens with some ink. That's a Colorverse Rainy Day ink. Beautiful color. I love that. It's just dry ink, but I love that color, which is weird. I hear that Colorverse is supposed to be a very wet ink. This one was not, but it's beautiful. I love it. Then there's that thick black that's there. That's that Noodler's Polar Black. Beautiful, beautiful color to lay down. It gets very dark, very rich colored, but then it dries the pen out. So I've got to take it out and put in different ink, or just leave it out until the next time I want to use it and then fill it back up again. But it's a I love using it. When it's being used, it is a very wet ink. It flows right out of the pen, and you get this nice thick black spots. It's very satisfying to get that contrast in there, but it does dry out in the pen for some reason, and the next time you go to use the pen, it doesn't work. So you just got, I mean, it re-wets very easily, it cleans out very easily, but it's just something. This is another one. This is actually the Derwent Graphitint pans, and I just did a drawing and then did some texture and ink and things like that. Don't know what this was. I think it was just me testing out a couple of very watered down colors to see how they spread in the water. That's all this is. I may do a drawing on this, probably not, but I may. This was a fun one, another doodle. I enjoy doing these. This is some of my favorite things to do, is just to draw a doodle. A lot of dark black spots. I love that contrast in there, so I put it in a lot. Here's one again. Started to draw a little bit. Harry. Have you met Harry, the Patooey gnome? Oh, I'll get a picture for you. Yeah, he's a good guy. He brought the, this is the S gel, the Sharpie S gel, which was a pain in the neck to use. I'll never use it again for a drawing. Threw it in the garbage. But to write, very smooth. It works great. I use it at work, so that's okay. Then I just put some colored pencil down. This here was a train wreck that I tried to save with some ink, and I think it was successful. I actually like this more and more. Every time I look at it, I like it more. I hated it when I first made it, and now I think I like it. And here's the last one. Just did this one. You saw it. This is going to be a part of a story again. Just wanted to catch up on that drawing. And it's it was a fun piece to do. I used the Derwent Graphitint pans and pencils and some ink, and it was really fun. It was fun. I enjoyed it. That's it. That's all I've got. This book is done. I probably will not get one for a little while because I have a ton of other books that I'm using. And for example, I have to finish this one, is one that I made. So in the first part of it, I have the Fluid 100 hot press, and then down further, I have the Stonehenge Aqua hot press, and then even further down, Arches. And so I'm going to finish this up. I made this myself. I have quite a few to do, and I'll probably finish this up next. Alright, that's all the time for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.